Hey there everybody, it's Matt with Max Video, and welcome to a double header review. For those of you that aren't familiar with these reviews I do, these are reviews where I take a media, like a visual media, movie, TV show, anime, cartoon, what have you, and I compare it with its source material, whether it be a manga, a book, a comic strip, or whatever have you. And today we are doing That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. And this is probably one of my favorite animes that have aired in the past 5 years. And that's saying a lot because there's been a lot of good ones, but this one is definitely up there for me. Like, it's just so good. Now let me tell you why. This aired in late 2018 and went all the way into this current season. It ended a few weeks back, dub-wise, sub-wise about 3 weeks earlier. But it is 26 episodes long. You'd think I'd look up this information before doing these reviews, but that makes too much sense. It's 24 episodes and 2 OVAs, and man, it's just good. So yeah, let's jump into it. What makes this thing so good? We'll start with the characters, because this show has such good character development. Just like with Goblin Slayer, they spend so much good time on good character development that you actually fall in love with all of these characters, and there's a lot of them, but you love each one of them. We'll start off with the main character. This is an isekai anime, so his Earth name before he went to the other world was Satoru Mikami. He was a businessman, a confirmed bachelor. I think he was 30, and he's going out to lunch with a coworker and that coworker's girlfriend, and on the way to the restaurant, a man running down the street with a knife stabs him in the abdomen, and he begins to bleed to death on the sidewalk. And this being known as the voice of the world comes to him and translates all of his, pre-death thoughts into what he's going to be reincarnated as in the new world. So he's thinking, man, this hurts. Man, I wish it didn't hurt so much. So that translated to physical damage resistance. Man, it's cold. Cold resistance. Now it's kind of hot. Heat resistance. All these different things. Most important one, he was a virgin, never had a girlfriend or anything like that, and he's like, man, I'm gonna really go after the ladies if I'm reborn again, and that translated into a unique skill called Predator, and we'll get into that in a minute. But also, he got this unique thing called the Great Sage, and the Great Sage is like this, his inner thoughts, and kind of like this inner computer within him that helps him think and process things, and it answers questions and whatnot, and that's just an interesting concept to me. So he gets reincarnated into this world as a slime. Now, for anybody that's ever played an RPG or any type of fantasy game where you have to fight monsters, a slime is usually pretty low on the danger scale. It's usually like a level 1, teaching you how to use a weapon monster. So, and if you were going to be reincarnated as something, a slime is probably low on your list. But he gets reincarnated as a slime, and when he first gets reincarnated, he's blind. He's just feeling around for anything he can, do. And he's in this cave, best he can tell. And he just starts eating things. And that's where this predator skill comes in. Anything he eats, he stores it away, and he can actually duplicate that and absorb whatever power it has and use it as his own. So, like, he eats these herbs, hapote herbs, and he's able to synthesize that within himself and make potions out of it. So that's great. And they're actually the best potions you can buy. So that's fun. Eventually, though, he meets the storm dragon Veldora. And he is one of the most powerful creatures in this world. And he's been kind of tethered and caged in this cave by a hero that, because Veldora went on this rampage at one point and just started killing everything, and this hero came and put a seal on him and locked him away in this cave. He's been there for centuries, and this slime comes along, and this is the first thing he's seen in forever, so of course he wants a friend. And, he gives the slime a name, names him Rimuru Tempest. And Rimuru decides, well, I have this skill where I can, absorb things and process them and use the Great Sage to kind of help me figure out the properties of it. So it's like, if I eat you, I might be able to break you free from your cage by processing the spell that has you entrapped. And they're like, all right, why not? So that happens. So, and, Rimuru also at this point learns how to use magic sense, which is like you can see things around you by the magical, it's called magicules in the show, the magical aura that things put off. And eventually, he goes to the cave and defeats a bunch of monsters. He gets a bunch of new abilities, poison breath and water blade and all these different skills. And eventually a bunch of adventurers come to figure out this great disturbance that happened when Veldora disappeared. It kind of put an unbalance in the world, and these adventurers came to figure out why this happened. And that allowed Rimuru to get out of the cave and go into the actual world. And that all happened within like the first 2 episodes, I'd say. And so yeah, we continue on, and Rimuru comes across a goblin village. Now, understand that this show and Goblin Slayer were airing at the same time. So, goblins had a very back and forth relationship with the general public there for a while, which was interesting. But these goblins are nice and friendly and lovely and whatnot, and they ask Rimuru, because he has such a strong magical energy now, he absorbed the most powerful creature in the world. So, of course, he has unlimited magic. I wouldn't say unlimited. He's actually, there's a whole system in this, and you'd have to read the manga to really get a hold of it. It'd take me about an hour to explain everything. But yeah, so the goblins ask if he can help with a situation they're having. A bunch of wolves are trying to attack the village now that Veldora's protection on the forest is no longer there. All the monsters are kind of running unchecked. And these wolves are like attacking the goblins, and they're just weak creatures. I mean, again, if you've played an RPG, goblins, slimes are here, goblins are like here. So, it's, but, so Rimuru's like, yeah, sure, I'll help. So he helps out with the direwolf situation, and he defeats the direwolves, and he decides, hey, I can name these people. Because no monsters have names, because names give power in this world. If you have a name, it actually helps you evolve into a higher creature. So he gives all the goblins a name and gives one of the wolves a name, and they all evolve into hobgoblins and a tempest wolf. And because of this, though, Rimuru falls asleep. It takes a lot out of you to name things. And this is kind of the way the story works, is he meets these new creatures, these new monsters, these new people, and it really evolves into a new thing when he meets a character named Shizu, and she is a legendary hero, and he falls in love with her, but she has a fire spirit within her that is slowly killing her, and eventually it takes over, and Rimuru has to defeat the spirit and absorbs the spirit, thusly killing Shizu. And the last thing that they came to a conclusion with before she passed away was, she wanted him to avenge her by defeating the demon lord that put the spirit in her. And so Rimuru absorbs her using the predator skill and obtains a human form, which I don't know if it's in here or not. No, it is not. It's in one of them. I have like 6 of them, but I don't feel like getting up. But he gets a human form, and so he's able to actually, communicate with people easier this way. And as the story progresses, you get all these other characters. You get the ogres, who are some of my favorite characters. And they've been their village was destroyed, and all their family were killed by orcs. That's brain for it there. By orcs. And so he adopts them and names them, and they become kaijin, which are these super powerful creatures. And you get to meet lizard men, and like I said, the orcs, and then you meet the demon lords, who my favorite character in the entire show is Malim, and she's just an OP character. And she's one of the demon lords, and she befriends Rimuru, and they're besties for resties. And the thing I love about this show, and like I said, we're hitting about 11 minutes, so I need to wrap this up. The thing I love about the show is there's a lot going on, but it's never too much. There's a lot happening, but it's easily processed. You got all these characters, but they're not hard to keep up with because they're all so relatable and they're easy to remember. And the thing I love, and I think will help this show kind of keep a footing in the anime industry, is it's doing something that we're so familiar with, this isekai genre, but doing it in a new and exciting way that doesn't feel like it's been done 1,000 times. Because it's he's an OP character, the main character's OP, but he isn't overpowered in the sense that he goes out and just tries to defeat everything. All he wants is a quiet life. He builds a village, he builds a city, he builds a country. And he just wants to live there with his friends. And that's it. Things come to him and he has to deal with them, but it's such a easygoing story that you'll really put emotional investment into. But yeah, so let me know what you think of this anime. If you've seen it before, hit a comment down there. Tell me what you think. If you haven't seen it before, I highly recommend you go watch it. It's available both subbed and dubbed. Like I said, go check it out. It's available on Crunchyroll and Funimation. So yeah, let me know what you think. Like I said, I moved to my new place. As you can see, I'm still brain work for me here. Ooh, there we go. Still unboxing things right there. Back there is a mess. But yeah, haven't uploaded a video, and I just wanted to get in touch with y'all guys again. And this is an anime I really wanted to talk about. So yeah, check it out. As always, I love all of you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.